business ownership isn't easy. I'll never sugarcoat it, but it does provide that path to that independence and that flexibility and that desire to build your own empire instead of someone else's. And so we see more and more guys and gals reaching out saying, hey, we want to diversify our income streams. We don't want to be reliant. Even in a lot of cases, they're making several hundred thousand, doing pretty well. They're
Right.
driving nice cars, their kids are in private school, but they're like, gosh, I'm trading time for money. I'm missing out. I don't want to be traveling as much. I want to be at home with my family. Don't want to be putting in the hours. To your point, I don't see where this is leading me. And, wish I'd started a business yesterday.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show. Today's returning guest, Jon Ostenson, is the founder and CEO of FranBridge Consulting, a 2-time Inc. 500 company. He's a top 1% franchise consultant. He's an author of the best-selling book, Non-Food Franchising. He draws on his experience as a former Inc. 500 franchise president and multi-brand franchisee in helping his clients select their franchise investments. You can find him at franbridgeconsulting.com or across social media, including LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. Thank you for taking the time today, Jon, and welcome to the show.
Hey, excited to be here, Dylan.
Now, I want to dive right in here and talk about franchising within real estate. And I mentioned this to you before hopping on. I wasn't previously aware, and I think most folks are not aware that they have opportunities to invest in real estate or get started within the sphere of real estate through a franchise model.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'd say probably 2/3 of those that we work with invest in franchising as well. I personally do, both directly and indirectly through funds and syndications and directly through Airbnb. So, for me, it's an all of the above approach. And I love having business ownership, albeit through franchising within the portfolio. I think it's a great addition from a tax play standpoint. And yeah, franchising just really resonates with a lot of real estate investors. I think it's a similar mindset. Again, the tax benefit side of it, different strategies you can do around that. So I think it's a good complement. And like you said, some of the franchises directly pertain to real estate in different ways. I think about a client of mine that had a large real estate brokerage, and he came to us and said, hey, would love to get into property management. I keep referring all of our clients out. He's like, do I start that directly, or should I buy a franchise that specializes and already has the systems in place and the team in place to support us? And anyway, he ended up going, with a franchise, and has had tremendous success. And it just makes it a little more turnkey for you. So, some great options in property management. There's some great options around wholesaling, real estate. We've had clients get involved there. And then I'd say where the vast majority, and granted, we have real estate investors jumping into everything from health and wellness to categories like seniors, kids, pets, a variety of different things. But I'd say a lot of times they gravitate towards home services, property services, everything from insulation to flooring to cabinets to restoration to pool cleaning, a variety of different types of business. There's so many different niches out there.
Now, for folks who are maybe unfamiliar with real estate and they're looking at a franchise model and they think, well, I haven't wholesaled before. Interestingly enough, Jon, my background is wholesale. So I understand how to take a deal from the cradle to the grave. But I could see someone walking in saying, I don't know too much about that space, but I'm interested. Can folks get started with a franchise, and will most franchises kind of train people up, or do you have to come in with some pre-existing experience or maybe having done a couple deals?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Yeah, 100%. No, most people enter in, I'd say in real estate, I mean, some people have experience, but for the most part, probably 80%, I would guess, of our clients get into industries that were never even on their radar, much less they had experience in. So it is fun to expose them to the types of opportunities that are out there. And I'd say what makes a successful franchisee from a franchisor's perspective would be, one, you've got to be halfway decent with people, right? Someone that people want to work with, work for. I mean, that's just business 101. And then secondly, you've got to have the humility to follow a system. I'd say where people get in trouble is when they enter into a franchise system and think they're the smartest guy in the room and want to change everything. And I'd say, franchising may not be a fit for those individuals, but for the vast majority of people that are looking to get into business ownership, franchising with a good franchisor can really shortcut that success path where, to your point, you get the training, you get the support, not only from the franchisor and their team, but you're stepping into a built-in mastermind. And I'm a big believer in masterminds. I've been a part of several over the years myself, where you're marching in the same direction, running the same business day in, day out as all of these others all around the country, all around North America in some cases, and you're learning from each other. So again, you get that, support, but also the learning so that you don't have to make the same mistakes yourself.
Yeah. I mean, when I think about my personal journey, if we take wholesale specifically, I think, gosh, would it have been great to have been part of a group that was literally invested with me. I mean, when you're a franchisee, the greater business, of course, wants to see you succeed. So they're invested just as much as you are. And so, when you do have not just a mentor, but someone who's literally in it with you, they've got like an equity stake in there with you, you're not going to feel like you're left out on your own to figure things out. And on top of that, you've also got a built-in, network, a built-in mastermind, because you've got other people who are doing what you're doing within the same business.
Absolutely. No, I think those are just some of the quick reasons. I mean, that we see so many people gravitating towards franchising. I've got nothing against the food guys, but my humble belief is there are easier ways to make money outside of food. And I think more and more people are realizing that when they hear the F word, franchise, it doesn't necessarily mean fast food, but it's all these other industries that they can participate in. And I think for a variety of reasons, I mean, we're seeing more interest than we've ever seen in franchising. It's an exciting time to be in the game. So many different new franchise companies coming online, different models coming down the chutes. We're always working with our clients, trying to position them ahead of other candidates in the pipeline, because in a lot of cases, it's competitive. A lot of people are going after the same opportunities in the same markets. And so we're always working with our clients, trying to position them and work our relationships on the back end to get them bumped up.
What's the ideal avatar? Is there an ideal avatar of someone who's going to become a franchisee? Is it someone who's got, maybe some extra time? Is it someone who is particularly passionate about one segment of the real estate space? Or, have you seen people who maybe are, full-time professionals or in the medical field also open a franchise?
Yeah, no, we have quite a few physicians and dentists and others that step into it and they say, hey, we want to stretch our intellectual curiosity into something new. There's two paths to get involved. One would be what's called an owner operator, and some franchises require owner operators. The majority, though, require or are open to what's called semi-passive or semi-absentee. I like to call it semi-involved. I think that's a better term. The idea there is you put a manager in place day one, and then you continue on with your W-2 or whatever else you're doing. And about half of our clients go with that path. And, I'll never sugarcoat it. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. But what it takes, there's a reason why you can make outsized returns in franchising. It's because you put forth a little more effort than you would in a passive syndication or real estate fund, for instance. So what it comes down to is having a good operator that you put in place, and then you have a good franchisor supporting them on the sideline. And that franchisor can carry a lot of the daily support water for you, but you still have to have a good driver, in that seat. As far as the avatar goes, speaking to kind of the financial side, I had a client the other day that bought 10 trampoline parks. That was a big investment, right? But most people, when you look at the franchise fee, the startup cost, several months of working capital, all built in, some of these home services we're talking about, the property management that I mentioned, businesses like that, you can get in for maybe 150,000, 200,000. That's where we see a lot of people's entry point. Some are using cash. Most real estate investors I know like the idea of leveraging. SBA loans tend to be the most common path. That's what a lot of our clients will do. You can also use a retirement rollover through what's called the ROBS program and purchase the business with a retirement plan, and you pay yourself a salary. I'm happy to go deeper on any of those topics, but that's kind of a brief overview. And we see people of all ages getting involved, but I'd say quite a few in their 30s, 40s, 50s would kind of be the sweet spot.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Yeah, one of the things that I think about specific to building your portfolio, your wealth at a young age is that I think there's a lot of young people right now that can really identify with feeling like, how am I going to retire? They're not seeing, or let's forget retiring. How am I going to build wealth? Because they're seeing in many cases this Henry phenomena, high earner, not yet rich, right? And so they're seeing like, okay, well, if I continue to make the money that I'm making at my current expenses, am I going to have, enough money reasonably to retire with inflation? And I think I'd include myself in this, a lot of us may be getting into real estate because we're not so bullish on the idea of just, squirreling money away and waiting and seeing what happens. And we feel like, while that may work, we want to have a more active role, even at a younger age, even if that's stretching us in our retirement plan, quote unquote, or just our wealth building, world.
Yeah, you're exactly right. No, and these are the conversations I have every day. And I'm in my mid 40s. I get calls every day from guys in their mid 40s that have been thinking about business ownership for some time, and they're starting to look around. They're like, hey, the guys I know, they're taking the bigger vacations and upsizing their house and have a little more free time on the golf course. Common trait is they're business owners, right? And they also plan on retiring well before I do. Again, business ownership isn't easy. I'll never sugarcoat it, but it does provide that path to that independence and that flexibility and that desire to build your own empire instead of someone else's. And so we see more and more guys and gals reaching out saying, hey, we want to diversify our income streams. We don't want to be reliant. Even in a lot of cases, they're making several $100,000, doing pretty well. They're
Right.
driving nice cars. Their kids are in private school, but they're like, gosh, I'm trading time for money. I'm missing out. I don't want to be traveling as much. I want to be at home with my family. Don't want to be putting in the hours. To your point, I don't see where this is leading me. And, wish I'd started a business yesterday. An interesting dynamic is a lot of people are looking for an existing business to buy. They're like, hey, if I can step into cash flow day one, that's great. Well, that can be great if you find it. But what I see is people reaching out saying, hey, I've been looking for 3 years or 4 years. I paid someone to go out and try to find a business for me. Due diligence didn't shake out. We got outbid, been under LOI 5 times. Over and over. I've had that conversation with several Harvard MBAs this week even. My feedback to them is, hey, get in the game. That's what I love about franchising.
Right.
Allow you to get in the game, start building. Over time, you may buy other franchisees in the system, scale that way, or you may buy another franchise, or you may buy an existing business or start one. You have optionality. So I always encourage people to think about what's right for the next season that allows them to get in the games. They start building instead of sitting on the sidelines, talking about it, thinking about it, consuming content, go out and start building. And then you've got that platform and you can go a lot of different directions.
I want to ask you maybe a granular question about the property management space. It does seem like there's a lot of change and disruption in a good way happening in the property management space. And I'm seeing it both from investors who feel like, hey, we need a better solution. And I'm seeing it from individual operators themselves who are realizing, the old way of doing things may not be the best way. And that also too, if you're a multifamily investor and you're acquiring a property, probably the biggest bottleneck is going to be the property manager.
I'm smiling because I'm thinking about a mountain house that we have, and we're limited on the property management options where it's located, and it is so old school. It's painful. No, I think there's a lot of innovation. You see that really across home services in general too. With franchising, it's when you step into a space and there's a lot of fragmented, unsophisticated competition, you're able to come in with a more professional approach, a white collar approach to a blue collar industry, if you will. Just from a technology standpoint, what you can do from a systems and efficiency standpoint, all the vendor relationships that you have and how you can kind of serve as a quarterback. No, I think there is, to your point, there's a need in the market. I really like how some of the franchises in the property management space have positioned themselves and just the track record that they have of gaining market share very quickly because of how they go about things. Again, you can go out and start a property management business, or you could step into one in a franchise where the marketing's already been optimized because they've opened up a lot of other locations. You don't have
Yeah.
to recreate the wheel and waste marketing spend. You've got a technology stack day one. You don't have to piece that together yourself. You've got the training, you've got the relationships, the vendor relationships, you've got the ecosystem of support, like we talked about within the franchise. So again, it's a trade-off. Anytime you're evaluating a franchise, you want to say, what kind of value am I getting for this royalty stream that I'm paying back? But in many cases, it makes a lot of sense for a lot of entrepreneurs.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Yeah, I mean, when I think about some of the businesses that I'm personally very bullish on, I think about some areas of real estate where people might not traditionally think about. Oh, yeah, that's a amazing opportunity or huge cash flow opportunity within real estate. Something like property management. I'm a realtor in Texas, and one of the funny things is no one is talking about apartment rentals, but myself and a buddy of mine have been realizing, like, hey, there's all these people that are renters by necessity, literally like hundreds of thousands, millions of people in Texas that are renters by necessity. And all the realtors are focused on, like, hey, how do we, represent buyers and list homes? And sure, we may have to do volume, but there's definitely business there and no one is tapping into it. And I think a lot about that in some of these services. I don't know if you're involved in any of these spaces, but things like home repairs, handyman services,
Oh, yeah.
even roofing, which honestly is such a big business in Texas, it can be a little bit competitive, but there's certainly opportunity there.
Involved in all of those. I've done multiple handyman deals in the past 3 weeks, multiple. And there's one that we really like that caters to kind of the older population. That's a big macro trend, is people aging in place, staying in their homes. And this is one that provides a recurring revenue handyman service to them that we really like. And kind of speaking to that demographic, again, I would step back. We like to look at macro trends. We don't like things that are trendy, but we like to see where the puck's going and then kind of skate to it, as Wayne Gretzky would say. I think the senior space, there are a number of ways to play that beyond just in-home senior care, whether it be like senior fitness, or whether it be serving as a guide to different senior facilities where you become the expert on the placement side with those. Or one that we really like, it provides wheelchair ramps and stair lifts and bathroom retrofits and really mobility solutions in the home, allowing people to age in place. That's a great tag on business to an in-home senior care business, to a
Yeah.
property management business. A lot of our clients will kind of, like I mentioned, the real estate broker earlier. We had some other clients that had an in-home senior care business. Then they got into this mobility solutions business. You've got the same customer base. So it's fun to kind of get creative strategically in how you can leverage either the customer base or the operational synergies on your back end. One of our clients is the largest franchisee of 2-minute truck moving service. Operates over time. He's bought up other franchisees in the system. He now operates in 12 markets. Does about $45 million a year in revenue, early 40s. And every year or two, he comes to me and says, "Hey, John, I've got a young guy in my organization that's really done a great job. I want to buy a franchise for him to go run." Typically, he gets into property services, whether it be waste management, whether it be, more traditional home
Yeah.
services. Gives him
Brilliant.
equity and says, "Go make us proud," and it's had a great track record. So a lot of different ways that you can play franchising into that overall strategy.
Yeah, that's an amazing. I'm thinking about that, young guy or gal who's got that opportunity. I mean, that's just really an amazing opportunity to grow, really be mentored by someone who themselves, had the blessing of, being in a system where they have mentorship within the franchise model. And now they're opening up their own franchise. I mean, that's, when people are describing the American dream, that's it right there for me, for my money's worth. We are coming up on time here though, John. Any new projects that you're working on? And then as well, what's the best way for folks to get in contact with you or your team?
Yeah, first off, it's entirely free to work with us. It's very much like a real estate model. I'm a franchise broker, just like you're a real estate broker. So we simply get a referral fee. None of that's passed on to our clients in any way. So no obligation there at all. But we'd love to share a free copy of our book, Non-Food Franchising. I think it could be a great way for people to kind of fill in the gaps in their understanding of franchising, kind of get the juices flowing. So we'd love to share a free copy. Just come out to our website, franbridgeconsulting.com. FRANBridgeconsulting.com. Share your email address. We'll then reach out to you with links to the book as well as a link to my calendar. We'd be happy to jump on a call with any of your listeners and talk about the types of opportunities that are available in their market and what it may look like.
John, thank you so much for coming on the show. Thanks for taking the time today.
Hey, thanks for having me, Dylan.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.